Today was a big day for the three budgets. They were all released at noon. What can you tell us about them?
Thank you. Yes, we did release the operating budget as the Democratic in the House, and also the capital budget, which pays for buildings and construction in our state, and also the transportation budget. And I sit as a vice chair on the transportation committee. It was very good. I mean, as you know, this is a supplemental budget year. So our budgets are typically biennial or two-year budgets. So a supplemental year is not intended to do new big things, but is intended to fill gaps and fix a few things that need to be fixed. And I think we did a really good job while still also keeping our values and putting people first. Our operating budget is investing in homelessness and housing, which is great. And there's a kind of a partner mission, I think, with the capital budget, because they did have dollars in there as well for permanent supportive housing, for example, and also building facilities. We have facilities for behavioral health construction as well, and childcare. There's also a focus on childcare in the operating budget and early learning, which I think is really important. We do continue some investments in K-12 education, helping schools, and also a little bit with healthcare beyond just behavioral health as well. The one place I think I'm really proud of is that we've increased the Medicaid rates for primary care providers as well in our state. And I think that's really important, not only for healthcare for people around the state, but also for providers to keep enough providers available so people can get the healthcare that they need.
This year, the transportation budget, everybody has been waiting for that one. So what can you tell us?
We needed to understand what our priorities were. And that was sort of the first step that Chair Fye took and spoke to us as vice chairs and the committee and the House about. And one of the key priorities was special needs transportation, making sure people could get to where they needed to go if they were disabled or on dialysis, and that it did not matter where you lived in the state, that you would not see an interruption of that, because we definitely wanted people to live their lives fully. And transportation is an incredibly key part of that. Also important was highway preservation and safety. You know, we need our roads to work for us, and we need a working and functional transportation system. But for the long term, we're not sure that we've completely stopped the gap that the I-976 initiative has created. And that is going to be an issue for other construction projects around the state, for regional mobility, for van pools, for rail. Many different multimodal types of forms of transportation were impacted because the car tabs the I-976 uses for funding, 85% or so goes into the multimodal account. So we were doing a lot of moving of dollars that weren't being used right now, which is great because construction takes a long time. It takes a long time to build roads and highways. So you often have sort of an amount of money available for when that project moves quickly forward. And if it's delayed, then those dollars may not be used. So we were able to do some of that in the supplemental. And I'm very proud again of our caucus for keeping our values front and center, for keeping people first, for helping people move around the state, because frankly, transportation is a map of our lives, our housing, our homelessness, our health care is part of our lives, helps us all contribute to this amazing state. And so, of course, this is not the final budget that the governor would sign necessarily, because we have to work with the Senate to make sure that our budgets are able to work together to be able to get a final one to the governor. So this was our rollout of our budget, and we look forward to seeing what will happen going forward in the few weeks ahead.